Why English speakers struggle more than they think. Most English speakers believe something about themselves that isn't true. They believe they're bad at languages. They say things like, "I just don't have the ear for it," or "I'm not naturally gifted." I've noticed this pattern over and over, and the problem is not intelligence. It's not age. It's not memory. It's environment. English speakers grow up in a unique situation. English is everywhere. Movies, music, software, business, the internet. Most of the world adjusts to English. English speakers rarely have to adjust to the world. And that creates something subtle. It creates comfort. If you travel as an English speaker, you can survive almost anywhere. If you watch international content, it's usually translated into English. If you use technology, it defaults to English. So there is no pressure, no necessity, no immersion. And language acquisition thrives on immersion, not effort. Immersion. Many English speakers try to learn a language the way they were taught in school. Grammar first, rules first, memorization first. But here's the deeper issue. They have never truly needed another language. And when something isn't necessary, the brain treats it as optional. Optional things do not become automatic. In many other countries, the situation is reversed. A German child grows up hearing English constantly. A Dutch teenager consumes English media daily. A Swedish professional works in English regularly. They absorb English passively for years. Bite, timte, study it formally. Their brain already recognizes patterns. For English speakers, this passive absorption rarely happens. So when they begin learning Spanish, or German, or Mandarin, they are starting from zero exposure and zero necessity. That combination makes everything feel harder than it should. But here's the important shift. Struggle does not mean inability. It means lack of immersion. The brain does not care what language it learns. It cares about frequency. It cares about repetition. It cares about exposure. If an English speaker creates daily contact with a new language, not through pressure, but through consistent listening, the difficulty begins to soften. Patterns start to repeat. Sounds start to feel familiar. Sentences stop feeling foreign. This is not magic. It's biology. Language ability is not a talent. It's an adaptation. An adaptation requires environment, not motivation, not willpower, environment. So when an English speaker says, "I'm bad at languages," what they often mean is, "I have never needed one." That's a very different statement, and once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself. You start adjusting your environment instead. More listening, more repetition, more exposure and less pressure, less analysis, less self-judgment. English speakers don't struggle because they're incapable. They struggle because they've been comfortable. And comfort does not produce adaptation. Exposure dos. If you change the exposure, you change the outcome. And that's where learning begins to feel natural again. If this way of thinking about language makes sense to you, you'll probably find the next conversations useful as well. Subscribe, and we'll keep building this step by step.